Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my humble casa. That is Spanish, that means home. Welcome to my humble home in Livingston, Montana. Okay, let me get a small drink of go juice or coffee. I always got to lubricate the throat, get the dust and the dust bunnies out of there, you know what I mean? Sure you do. Okay. This is one of these go nowhere, do nothing type of files. Probably, maybe some of you might get something out of this. Maybe some of you won't. I don't know. I never worry about those things. I just do these videos and hope for the best. You know, I don't try to please people. I've said that dozens and dozens of times on my channel. Okay. The subject at hand, I'm going to touch on this and I'm going to try to blubber my way through this as fast as I can, is this miserable coronavirus or this COVID-19, excuse me. Okay, now first of all, I'm not going to be putting out a bunch of information here that should get this video banned, because if I start naming co-conspirators, because there is a conspiracy going on here, or if I start naming guilty people, and there are guilty people behind this plandemic, which is a good word for it, and all that, I know doggone well I'll take this video down. But before I start into this, I have got perfect proof on my channel that I have done dozens of videos talking about environmental issues, talking about taking care of the air, talking about not polluting the land, not polluting the water, and taking care of the resources that we got, because if we don't in the future, we ain't going to have nothing and everybody's going to die anyway, and that's a fact. And I've got the videos to prove it. And if you don't believe me, waste a whole bunch of your time or whatever have you and go way back into my index of videos and you'll catch right on. I've been a big environmentalist. The reason being is because the problem with us human beings is we started disrespecting this earth generations ago. You can't take a planet like Earth and keep robbing resources, and I've said this before on videos, you can't keep blowing up the earth, digging up the earth, polluting the earth, taking resources out of the earth and not putting nothing back. I mean, 0 equals 0. This is a fact. And personally, myself, when you get, this corona deal, this coronavirus and all this stuff doesn't surprise me at all. And I'm not trying to put any feathers in my cap saying, I told you so. But I really want to say that. Because my channel for the longest time was centered around natural things, Montana things, beauty, all of this kind of good kind of stuff, Because let's face it, there are places here in the United States, not just in the United States, but across the world, that you would never get a guy like me to live. Why? Because the place is polluted. The places are crawling with disease and every other doggone thing. And there's certain places here in America that's getting that bad. I mean, look at all that homeless mess that they got going on there in California. What the hell is that nonsense? The land of the free and the home of the brave and all that. I'm going to tell you what, the government is a bunch of liars. That's what they are. Yeah, the government doesn't know how to fix anything. The only thing they know how to do is spend your money and lie. I know, I'm a Vietnam veteran and a very disgruntled Vietnam veteran. Okay, getting onto this COVID-19 or coronavirus or whatever have you, I think I've got the perfect right. I can't prove any of this stuff or anything like that, but I have got the perfect right to say that I believe that this was a man-made disease. This thing hopped out of, either accidentally or on purpose or something, but some lab somewhere. I'm absolutely positive of that. And this business of vaccinations, these suckers are not, the government is not going to force me to take vaccines. I know I get my health care mostly from the VA, and they're always bugging me about, what is it, pneumonia vaccinations, flu vaccinations, and I keep telling them, I don't tell them to go to hell, but in my mind, that's what I want to say. I just tell them, thanks, but no thanks. I haven't taken any inoculations or vaccines for, I don't know, probably about 3 or 4 years now. I wish I would have quit a long, long time ago. These people are going to have to figure out something better to kill me than this bioterrorism. Did you hear me? Bioterrorism. I think that's what this boils down to. Because here it is, ladies and gentlemen. This is, not only have we screwed up this planet and made this planet inhabitable in places, and we're going to pay the price in the long run for this, but I've got this recorded on my channel too, in several different places if you look hard enough. I believe that there's powers to be, if you will, these real rich people, whatever you want to call them, the Illuminati, whatever. They basically want to kill off about 2/3 of the human race. Because they know doggone well at the rate that we're going, we don't have enough resources to sustain what population that we have on the earth right now. So what are they doing? They figured out that it's a lot cheaper to use bioterrorism, if that's the word I can use, rather than dropping bombs and creating wars like what they've done in the past. It's called population control. And nobody, and I mean nobody, is going to tell me that they haven't used wars in the past for population control. The first guy that ever explained that to me was one of my granddads. He was highly decorated out of World War II and Korea both. And he knew I was a struggling Vietnam veteran that had, my fair share of anger and anger management issues and stuff like that. And he sat me down many times and had long talks with me. He said, Jim, the reason why this is like this is, and then he explained it to me, about population control. And at first I didn't believe old Ralph. I thought he was, smoking the wrong tobacco. No, I'm just kidding about that. He didn't smoke at all. Matter of fact, he had lung problems because he got electrocuted, but that's neither here nor there. But he was dead serious about this business of population control, because he told me, he said, you watch, Jim, you watch. Every 20 years, now any of you paying attention here, every 20 years they'll either start a war or they'll figure out how to kill a bunch of people and all that. How long has it been since 9/11? Come on, guys, start doing the math. This COVID thing, here we go, right on the 20-year ticker. And 20 years from now, there'll be some other goopy thing to kill off more people, So this is what I personally believe. I personally believe that this COVID-19, this coronavirus was set in motion, if you will, to kill people purposely. Now, that's just my own beliefs. Now, I suppose YouTube's going to come along and try to take this video down or kick me off or something for believing the way I do. Well, I personally don't give a damn. I've got the right to speak how I feel, because for many, many years now, I've watched this society go from a relatively mellow society back in the 60s, and I've just watched people getting more stressed out and madder and more broke and involved in criminal activities and and all just on and on and on, till we're at the state we're at right now. You take like these miserable politicians. I can't even hardly stand to look at these people because they lie. That's one thing about me. I may be wrong in what I'm trying to tell you folks, but at least I'm speaking from the heart and I'm trying to speak the truth. So that's the deal. And my advice to all this mess is for you folks to not play the game. Don't play the coronavirus game. If you want to do what the authorities are doing in the masks and the gloves and all that, fine, do it. Because I don't want to be responsible for saying, don't do that. Do I do that stuff? Only when I absolutely have to. Because some of you probably noticed I've got new glasses. Well, the doctor's office where I got my new glasses was insistent that I wore a mask in there. I've been in there a couple of times. In fact, my wife sewed up 7 masks and all that because there's a few places that have required them. But Montana is slowly getting back to normal. Thank God, because I couldn't put up with too much more of this. And that's another thing while I'm thinking about it. Second wave. The only second wave is, I'm going to tell you what the second wave of the coronavirus is. It's going to be 100% bullshit. This stuff, man, I just can't believe the people, how easily the government has figured out how to pull the wool over the Americans' eyes, or the globally wise, fooling people worldwide. Man, I'm telling you, if you're going to survive in this day and age, you better start doing your own thinking. That's what I've got to say about this whole mess. And don't believe every Tom, Dick, and Harry doggone thing. I can promise you guys this. Whoever's watching this video, I'll throw a little jocularity in here. I could kiss every one of you on the mouth. Now, pardon me, I'm just a little joke here. But I could kiss every one of you on the mouth and even give you a little Frenchie while I was at it, and I'll guarantee you, I promise you, you won't get COVID-19. See, that's what kind of bullshit we got going on here. So anyway, I just thought I'd get this off my chest. I'm not going to talk about this crap anymore. I'm really not, because I've tried to, do a little comedy. I've done my touring videos to try to keep people's spirits up and everything like that. But it just gets to the point where you gotta live and talk your convictions. And that's just what I've done. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for visiting me in my home here in Livingston, Montana, and I'll let you go. And like I say, don't believe everything that's said by every Tom, Dick, and Harry, because there's a lot of BS out there. You know it, and I know it. So be smart. Be smart, be careful. We shall see you on down the trail, and adios, my friends. And where's the button to let me out of this place?